Good evening, good morning, and good night. Welcome to Inappropriate Radio. It's your host, Shauna. Let's get into this. Sorry, y'all. A few minutes late. I was finishing up this food. And I was like, oh, snap. I thought I was going to be done already. It's totally slipped my mind. 8 o'clock got here fast. So, I had a few things written down that I really wanted to get into, but just now the Most High told me to discuss, I just belched, to discuss the spirit of depression and rejection. Now, in these times, we really, really have to be careful with technology and the neurotransmitters. You know, we're receiving a lot of downloads from a lot of different sources, and this is not just in the spirit world, this is in the physical world. So, you know, with technology, this 5G stuff, not even the 5G stuff, but just the overall everything, the scanners, the Bluetooth, it's a lot of radiation, if you will, going on, and we're consuming maybe 70% of the energy that's being radiated. It does a lot to us physically, which ultimately means that our spirit and our overall level of functioning can be affected by the environment that we're in. So it's really important to, just maintain the level of high vibrational. A lot of people don't realize that when you keep your spirits high, you are not easily penetrated with certain spirits. Certain spirits can't even stay on you if you're vibrating at a certain level. So depression and rejection are pretty much two spirits that go hand in hand, which can both lead to a lot of different behavior that's really just overall poor spiritual hygiene. So your habits become amplified, the isolation, and this comes from both depression and rejection. You tend to have a more negative, pessimistic outlook on things. You begin to start attracting things that are really negative and out of alignment, and which overall could mean that you're going in the wrong direction with your life when you start having certain behaviors and thought patterns and, things that have absolutely nothing to do with you and your purpose. The issue with this is a lot of us believe that, we can be doing other things, and if you have these spirits attached to you, it's really hard to move forward. If you're spiritually aware and you're spiritually in tune, then it'll be easy, for you to say, something's wrong with me, something's going on, I haven't been feeling myself lately. And you'll have healthy ways to release the spirit. But if you are in an environment where you can't think, if you're not spiritually grounded, if you have bad habits that you tend to use as coping mechanisms, whether it's drinking, drugs, sex, fighting, isolating yourself, these are just a few things that people use to cope. And a lot of us, I've used a lot of negative outlets to shake, if you will, these feelings. But these are really spirits that have been able to attach themselves to you because you're not vibrating in the right energy. And these two spirits in particular, because they, for one, definitely come from crazy spiritual warfare, and two, they can lead to a lot of outlandish behavior that, if you're not careful, can really lead you down a path of destruction. Now, Of course, all of these spirits that can attach themselves to you that are not good are of your lower self, right? So the overall goal is to find out what is going on with you that this spirit is, one, able to attach itself to you in the first place. Like, why is it even attracted to you? And two, what do you need to work on, right? Because obviously something's going on if these spirits are able to linger. If you have these lingering spirits. Now, like I said, when you're operating in certain energy, it's really hard for low vibrating spirits to attach themselves to you. You've closed off those cycles, the portals are not open, and you're not even attractive to things of the sort. But when you haven't done the spiritual work, when you haven't figured out, what it is that you need to be doing to upgrade yourself, then it becomes harder to shake those feelings. Now, one thing that I would say is that I know a lot of people, when they get attached to these spirits, they start finding out a lot of things about themselves. And this is a good way to start doing your shadow work. When you do go into those spirits, if you, for whatever reason, can say, okay, I can identify pieces of myself with this spirit. I know why this type of energy has attached itself to me and has successfully lingered. Then you will really, really be able to find a healthy way, to work on your shadow side, because those energies, those two spirits in particular, are really, really low vibrating, crazy under lust. Lust is a higher vibration than depression and rejection, which is, I find that so crazy, but it makes sense because life can be created out of the energy of lust. Things die in depression, things die in rejection, so it makes sense. And all of these energies can be transmuted. All of these spirits can be removed and released. All of these spirits can be sent back into the pits of hell, and they also can be, like I said, transmuted and not even sent back, because a lot of us have this thing where we're like, yeah, return to sender, when really, children of the Most High, we don't do that. We send things back with love and light. We transmute the energy and we just kill it right there. We don't send back negative energy, because that's just not what children of the light do. We don't do that. So when we find ourselves in a space where someone may be sending that energy to us, or we're in an environment where we just picked it up, because remember, going to people's houses, getting into people's cars, eating people's food, wearing their clothing, listening to certain music, doing certain drugs, all of these things makes you liable to pick up these types of spirits. Now, if you haven't figured out yet, a good way to connect with your shadow self, having these lower level entities attached to you will definitely be one of the best ways to find out what it is you need to work on. I know a lot of us, we're like, oh, I'm depressed, but being sad, deeply saddened by something, disappointed and depressed are all different emotions, and a lot of us, we associate these things with each other, but realistically, no one really knows that they're depressed. And that's honestly, until you've gone through the thick of it and you're on the other end of the lower emotion, and then you're like, okay, I was depressed. I know what it feels like to be depressed. In the thick of it, if you're saying I'm depressed, it's probably something else going on. Unless you have this continuous depression where you've been diagnosed and you for sure know that it's depression and you're going through a manic episode, that's something different. But if you're going through these emotions and you have this slumber, it's usually a spirit of depression mixed with something else that, like I said, you've gone through the thick of it, and then when you're out of it, you're like, okay, that was definitely depression back there. I know what that was. So, right, it's really good to be spiritually grounded. This is why knowing yourself, connecting with the Most High, being in tune with your environment, knowing your ancestors, the good from the bad, tapping in with your spirit guides in the spirit and in the physical world, knowing what it is that you need to be working on for your time here. This is why all of those things are important, because it'll put you in alignment and you would automatically be vibrating at a particular level where spirits that have nothing to do with your purpose cannot attach themselves to you. Those portals have been closed off. Your energy is so strong that the portals that you have created are vibrating so high that those energies can't even reach to the portals where you've opened, right? This obviously, it comes with time. It comes with working on yourself. It comes with, being really, really certain of what it is that you need to be doing. And this will eventually, lead to you being isolated at some point. And this spiritual isolation is not to be confused with the isolation that the spirit of depression and rejection puts you into. Now, sometimes the Most High will put you there to enlighten you, right? And that is, like I said, when you come out on the other end and you're like, okay, is this what this was? Right? Because like I said, we have mental, emotional, and then we have spiritual. Right? So you have to be able to decipher between the two. And usually the spiritual isolation, you are in a spiritual battle. This is a spiritual battle, right? This is where the warfare comes in. And you have to be able to ward off different types of spirits. It's not just this one thing. You're going through multiple different things, right? Again, you'll know when you're on the other end of it, when you come out of it, when your emotional and mental self has been healed and matured, and you could be in your spiritual self to be able to examine those things carefully in a more sound mindset where you can differentiate between all of them, where you don't have to confuse yourself and you can say what is what and what is not. A lot of us have this thing where we're like, yeah, I know who I am and I know what I'm supposed to be doing. But that means that you went through spiritual warfare. That means that you're going through spiritual warfare. That means that you are aware that the spiritual warfare may not stop. Now, a lot of the things that you've gone through in the warfare may never happen again. But the warfare is going to come through different channels, because as you elevate, right, what they say, new levels, new devils. So at some point you're going to encounter another challenge. This is all spirit. We have to remember what? We are spirit beings having a human experience. We exist on different timelines. And the ultimate end goal is for us to reach our higher selves in this reality. I had someone say, that we should be trying to reach our higher selves. And I'm like, no, because that means we're dead. That's the end. There's continuity here, right? This is ongoing. Our spirits have reached the level of infinity and beyond already. I have my theories, but I'm not going to throw my theories on you all. We all have our own journeys. Our souls have its own journey and purpose. And it's our duty to seek those things. I can't put my beliefs and understandings of my journey onto you. I can only give you what I've experienced, and you can apply whatever it is that makes sense to you, to your journey, and vice versa. We can all learn from one another, but ultimately we have to learn our own purposes and embark on those journeys with the Most High as He, saw fit. So I'm going to leave this with you guys. Like I said, we're going to start tuning in and start tapping in daily. Want to just get a little more grounded and situated. But I definitely thank you guys for tuning in. I hope your weekend was good. I hope you ate good and slept well. I hope you, ate your fruit and drink your water and mind your business and sip your tea. All right. I hope you guys are doing well. Love you. Peace.